That's right. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Hey, it's me, Ann Eller, and Penny's on the screen here this morning, just snoozing. Okay, there's me. How you doing, everybody? Looking forward to another beautiful day here in South Carolina. Nothing could be finer. Whew, they say the weather's going to get up, to around 86 degrees? Oh, my goodness, this is crazy. Let's, Okay, looks like I've been outside here this morning. That's true. Let's go ahead and check the weather here this morning. It is right now 71 degrees. Outlook sunny today. High of 86 to 88 degrees. Not a cloud in sight. So let the temperature guide how you enjoy the day. That's right. Plenty of water out there if you're going to be outside working, playing, doing whatever. Make sure you've got plenty of water. Sun rose this morning at 6:56 in the morning. It is going to set at 8:01. Not 8:02, not 8 o'clock, not 8:01 in 25 seconds, 8:01 p.m. exactly. And do you believe that? I guess. I don't know. Anyways, let's see. Well, let's see. What else does it say here? Key factors in allergy. Grass pollen. Yes, grass pollen is high, and that doesn't help when you have the grass cut. So you have lots of more grass pollen around. So that's what we are looking for today. Tree pollen levels expected to go down. That's good. What about ragweed? There is no ragweed, and so it's grass as high. That'll be continuing through next week. Tree pollen is on the way down. So it says by Sunday, it pretty much is going to be non-existent. So that is a good thing. All right, so let's go back and do what else we've got for the weekend. For the weekend, what are we looking for? We are looking for Friday, high of 89, low of 61, plentiful sunshine. Saturday, high of 89, low of 67. Sunday, cooling down a little bit. High of 70, low of 46, and about a 24% chance of rain. Monday comes in, high of 74, low of 45, and next week then turns into mid-70s to upper 80s, and only that one day of rain on, what was that, Sunday, possibly 24% chance of rain. The next time we have chance of rain will be the following Saturday, the 25th. Better not rain on the 25th. That's the day of the Hodges festival over there. But they're saying rain, possible rain on Saturday and Sunday. But that's a week away. Who counts that? We don't. I was just trying to see when we might get some rain. So, how's everybody doing? I sure had a great day yesterday. Lots of people liked my video of me making an ice cream cone. I tell you what, it's headed for epic heights. Epic heights. Last night when I checked it, I think it was over 5,000 views. 5,000 views. Not bad, not bad. I may have to go to work at Chick-fil-A. That was kind of fun. That was fun. All right, so what else is going on here today? We got a lot to talk about. We're going to be talking about some national news. We're going to be talking about some state news. Oh, what did I have here? Nothing on this piece of paper. What good is it? All right, let's see. Tim Tebow, that is the news. Tim Tebow is either, I don't know, he's either in town or coming to town today. That event is at 6:30 this evening, He's going to tell us how to live fearlessly in this world that we live in today. What do you think about that? I think if somebody could figure out how to do it, it would be awesome. I'm looking forward to going to it. I'm looking forward to coming back and reporting on it to you. So that's going to be pretty cool as far as something good that is out there in our community. To believe that Tim Tebow is in Greenwood, South Carolina is what I consider huge, 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 huge. So, that is I think the big event here in Greenwood. But let's talk about a couple of things. This story is unbelievable. Where is that story, Ann? Did you hear about this one? No, it doesn't have to do anything with Swalwell, Swalwell, Swalwell. Try saying that 3 times. This is, well, looks like might not come up here. I hope it does. This is about, oh, come on. No? All right, well, let's try this. This is about SantaCon, and evidently this guy that had this huge, very successful program at Christmas time has been taking the money. So let's see if I can find it again. SantaCon. Okay. Let's see. Where is it? SantaCon, where are you? There's always something. But you know what? The thing that is so bothersome to me is the fact that we have so many people willing to help, right? And then they're taken advantage of by things like this that happen, where people that are getting all this money, they take the money doesn't go who it needs to go to, and it really is sad. Really is sad. So here it is. SantaCon. SantaCon leader ran his own $1 million con. SantaCon organizer charged with fraud. SantaCon founder accused of siphoning charitable funds for New York City's holiday bar crawl for his own use. I mean, this is what I'm talking about. You have something that is perfectly great and wonderful, and yet it is destroyed by somebody's greed. The founder of SantaCon is a con, according to federal prosecutors in New York. Stefan Pleeds was arrested Wednesday on federal wire fraud charges that accused him of siphoning off hundreds of thousands of dollars of charitable funds for his own use. SantaCon is an annual drunken bar crawl, and in December, when 25,000 people dress as Santa Clauses and other holiday characters and travel to bars and restaurants throughout the day. The event is billed as a charitable, non-political, nonsensical Santa Claus convention that happens once a year, spreads absurdist joy, but of nearly 3 million Pleeds raised, the founder of the organization. He diverted more than half of it to an entity he used as a slush fund, according to the indictment unsealed Wednesday in Manhattan. The indictment said Pleeds used that slush fund to finance various personal ventures and to pay for concert tickets, fine dining, luxury vacations, and home renovations, while donating only a small fraction to charity. That is such a rip. SantaCon events from 2019 to 2024 generated about $2.7 million in proceeds, in part by marketing itself as a 501c3 charity organization that over the last 10 years had raised over $1 million for local New York City charities, specifically art funding and fighting hunger. And to see all these people dressed up as Santa Clauses going to all these bars in New York City was quite a sight, I am sure. but instead of donating the millions of dollars he raised, the defendant misappropriated and stole the majority of SantaCon proceeds by diverting them to an entity that pleads controlled Creative Opportunities Group. Hell yeah, it was Creative Opportunities. That no public connection to SantaCon, the indictment said. Other proceeds he allegedly used for extensive reservations to a lakefront property in New Jersey, luxury vacations in Hawaii, Las Vegas, and Vail, extravagant meals, and a luxury vehicle. Pleaded not guilty in court on Wednesday and was released on a $300,000 bail. He has allowed no contact with any of the organizers of SantaCon. So the government is working on his plan to notify victims of his alleged fraud. Isn't that horrible? That is just horrible. They hear people believe that when they participated in this bar drinking fun Santa Claus event that they were doing something good, and in reality the money was being taken. That, to me, is just the epitome of taking advantage of the American people. And, that brings up another question. Why do we need more supervision of nonprofits? We've heard about all these nonprofits, particularly California, Minnesota, all these, really more blue states, but it happens right here in South Carolina, too. But we hear about all these big ripoffs where our money, we give the money or it's taxpayer funded. Taxpayers of nonprofits apply for grants. They try to get the money. They put their best foot forward with writing up how they're going to use the money and everything. Now, usually in a grant application, there is also how money's going to be used, but also they have to turn in a report afterwards. Well, it sounds to me that, number one, I don't know about California. I know here in South Carolina people have to turn in this, but are we really finding out how the money is spent? And is our money going for the good of the people that we are intending to help? That is the question. So that is why it is most important to know the charities that you are giving to. I don't know if you know this or not, but the state, not the state treasurer, that's Curtis Loftus, and the state, what's it called? Secretary of State. The Secretary of State, well, you can actually go online. They have a place on their website for the Secretary of State, and they will tell you how good a charity is, what their percentage of use, how heavy their administration is, all these type of things to help you make a decision whether to give to a charity or not. That's one part of it. But how does our governments aren't very good at following up and checking to make sure that the money that is being spent is actually spent on the things that we want and expect that it will be spent on. So I just wanted to bring that up because that is such a horrible story, but it also reminds us to be very vigilant on when we give money that you are giving it to actually help a true cause. So that is one. Let's see. We already got messages coming in on this one. What's Supremo Texter saying this morning here? Let's see. No. Where is it? Here we go. Yep, here we go. What does Supremo Texter say this morning? I didn't have that tab open here. Take me just a minute. Wait a minute. Yes. All right. Well, maybe not. Maybe I'm in the wrong pew here. Let's see. Yes, they need to check on that. The Secretary of State, where the website is kind of like the good housekeeping reviews of charities. That's true. That's true, but they actually know this information. So if you are wondering, go to the Secretary of State website and you can check on any of the charities. You know, that's why at Christmas time, I think Mark Hammond puts out his list of angel charities, those that the most money goes to the charity, not to the board or the staff, etc. They actually rate them on how much money is actually going to that to the charity and what its prescribed needs are. So it's an excellent source. The Secretary of State is also a good place to look at if for items where you think you might be giving money to something for fraud. It has a lot more. In fact, we should get Mark Hammond. He is running for office, but we should get Mark Hammond on to tell us all the things that he actually has modernized the Secretary of State, so you can do a lot of it online. They also, though, are very helpful if you call down there. So he has made a tremendous difference to how our Secretary of State office runs. All right, so that was one thing I wanted to talk about. I want to talk about this article. Yes, this article right here. First off, let me just see if anything new has come in on this. All right. Stricter abortion ban advances in South Carolina Senate months after the previous plan was rejected. I don't know if you remember, but back in the summer, the Senate had I think it was their medical affairs, had a hearing, and they literally were doing away with all abortions. That was it. They were doing away with all of them. No medical emergencies, etc., etc. To the credit of the House had passed a version of that did allow for abortions with a myriad of doctors being involved in saying these are the situations where we would need to be able to do an abortion. They also stayed with the six week heartbeat bill, but I think they added, or that was an add-on to it. One thing they wanted to do away with was the chemical abortions, by using the two drugs, milaprostone and one other one, that literally kills the baby. I think one of the most horrible things about the milaprostone is what it does to a woman trying to abort a baby by herself. It is a horrible, horrible process. However, I don't know about this. I do know about this version that the Senate is looking at, and why. Why, with 1 month left in the session, that this is now coming to the fore. But yesterday or day before, they had a hearing on this. 6 months after senators rejected what would have been the nation's strictest abortion ban, another panel of South Carolina senators advanced a bill that would still prohibit abortions from the beginning of a pregnancy, but impose less severe penalties. A subcommittee with a different composition of senators rejected a harsher version in November. But in a vote of 4-2 along party lines on Wednesday, a panel advanced Senator Richard Cash's latest attempt to ban abortions without exceptions for rape or incest or for fatal fetal anomalies. It would ban abortions without the exceptions for rape or incest or for fatal fetal anomalies. I am for protecting life, but I think this is a bridge too far for me. 4 Republicans and 1 Democrat on the panel were absent Wednesday. The full Medical Affairs Committee, which is chaired by a co-sponsor of the bill, is expected to debate the bill Thursday. What happens beyond that is unclear. So that's going on. I think I read that it'll start at this morning at 9 o'clock. If you are so interested in this bill, or what is happening and who is saying what, you can actually watch this on, I believe you'd be able to watch that right there from the South Carolina Legislature website. The full medical, is chaired by a co-sponsor of the bill, is expected to debate the bill Thursday. Just 4 weeks remain in the regular legislative session. Debate on the state budget will consume senators' time in the chamber next week, and Senate GOP leaders indicated in January there was little appetite for another protracted abortion debate this year. The 6-week ban that took effect in August of 2023 followed months of contentious debate and multiple court fights. Even after the state Supreme Court upheld a second law, challenges about the ban's timing continued until last May. What the bill does. Like the bill rejected 6 months ago, the proposal advanced Wednesday would ban abortion from the onset of pregnancy. So there is no heartbeat bill, there is no 6 weeks, there is none of that. Once you are pregnant, you are carrying a life, and there is no abortions. As soon as it is medically detectable, abortion from the onset of pregnancy, as soon as it is medically detectable, and criminalize women for getting an abortion. The previously proposed punishment helped defeat that measure. It would have subjected women to up to 30 years in prison. Under Richard Cash from Anderson, latest bill, the women could be charged with a misdemeanor punishable by up to 2 years in prison and a $1,000 fine. The doctor who performs the abortion could be sent to prison for up to 20 years. The bill still uses the threat of lawsuits to help with enforcement. Family members, to include the biological father and his parents, could sue whoever aided the abortion. His latest bill makes it a crime to take someone under 18 out of the state for an abortion without consent of the girl's parents, but it deleted the prohibition on simply telling somebody where they can get an abortion. So in one of the bills, if you even told somebody where they might be able to get an abortion, you were considered helping with the abortion, so you could be charged. This is not, I repeat, this is not in that bill. Included as such is much of a proposal the House passed earlier this year restricting access to the two drugs mifepristone and misoprostol, two drugs used to induce abortions, by rescheduling them as Schedule 4 drugs. The Senate has yet to take up that bill from the House. Why is it the Senate cannot take up something that they already have in hand? Why do they have to do it their way? Because it's just, they could take up the Senate's bill. They could make the House bill. They could make some amendments. Then if they make amendments or they don't like exactly, then they ship it back to the House, and then the House goes. But we're dealing with a bill that already is in process. Is it the fact that the House did the bill and not the Senate, so they have to have their own version of the bill? Cash, a father of 8, has made banning abortions his central mission since he was first elected to the Senate in 2017. Despite wanting a total abortion ban without exceptions, the Anderson Republican proposed the less strict version of the bill in hopes of getting enough support to pass, he said. I'm working with a political system whereby if a bill is defeated because of a penalty, it doesn't make any sense whoever to go to for a stronger penalty, Cash said on Tuesday. One of the primary reasons for Cash's bill, he said, was to stop women from getting abortions when they don't need them. Senator Margie Bright Matthews is the only female on this medical affairs board. She called the assertion that women are getting abortions as a form of birth control the most idiotic thing I've ever heard. Women don't get abortions because they're fun, said the Walterboro Democrat. They get abortions because they feel they have no other option. She has experienced that personally. Anyways, this is what is in front of the Senate. I would be real interested where you weigh in on this. Should life be protected from the moment of conception? Should there be criminal penalties against a woman who gets an abortion? Do you feel that the heartbeat bill went far enough? Meaning that after 6 weeks, you cannot get an abortion? How do you feel about somebody taking a minor out of state to get an abortion? I do believe that says that the parents must be notified. So I don't know whether it means his latest bill makes it a crime to take someone under 18 out of state for an abortion without consent of the girl's parents. But it deleted the prohibition of simply telling someone where they can get an abortion. I find this, I agree the parents should know. I don't have any problem with that. But I really feel personally that this is too far. I realize, and besides that, we all have a personal responsibility to make the best decisions for the lives of those that we influence. If you are pregnant, you have to make that decision for that baby and for you. That is why I think it is so great that the Women's Center right here on Durst Avenue is right there, and you can go in there and get a free pregnancy test. You can get an ultrasound. While, of course, the Women's Center right there would love for you to make the choice to not have an abortion. They don't judge. They don't make any opinions. They give you information, and they want you to make up your mind what is best in your situation. Isn't that the way it is supposed to be? I realize this is a heavy topic, and many may not even want to discuss it. But I think if you have any strong opinions about any of this, you need to be contacting your senator. For our area, Billy Garrett is on the medical affairs. He is one of the members of this group that is looking at this. Richard Cash, of course, is not our senator, but he is in that. He is on that. You certainly can put messages out to that. I don't think that would go anywhere at all. Josh Kimbrell, who is actually running for governor, is on that. And, of course, that Marjorie Bright Matthews is on that, too. So this is a question. They took this up in November. They found that the public did not have the stomach for it. And now they're bringing it back around with just a few tweaks, but trying to do the same thing. I think I see the purpose of it. I do not see the logic of it. It seems to me that if we really cared about saving lives, then just like we've done with tobacco usage, particularly drugs. I mean, in some aspects, drugs. I guess we have let the pedal off the metal. Maybe that's the problem. But you can take the example of smoking and how that has been reduced. Education is the key here. Not putting laws in place that can punish a woman to go to jail for 2 years and $1,000 fine. And they think because they changed it from a from a instead of a misdemeanor to a higher level crime, that's going to make it okay, or a woman going to jail for 20 years for this. This doesn't even make sense to me. It will be the strictest abortion law in the country. All the while, we're spending money crazily. We're doing a lot of other things that don't make a lot of sense. But we're going to make sure that we are not allowing a woman to have any ability of self. I agree with the heartbeat bill now. I didn't agree with the heartbeat bill. I think it is a great, good, I'm not going to say great. It's a good compromise. It does have the option of, but where do men get to make up their minds about what women need to do in situations? And how do you know what situation a woman is in? Each individual case can be individual. I do agree abortion should not be used as a form of birth control. But again, doesn't that come down to education? Doesn't that come down to massive campaigns that spend the money on educating the public and changing the public's perception of abortion? That's how I would go about it. If I'm going to spend money to do something, I'd rather spend money on educating, changing the philosophy. We're in a great position to do that. Turning Point USA, the whole Charlie Kirk thing, it is making a difference on how young people view even going to church, becoming part of these organizations. Why wouldn't that be as good a way to help people make the decision, I am going to keep this child, I am not going to have an abortion? I think it would. So, that's just my personal opinion. That is my personal opinion here this morning. You can call me a heathen if you want. Penny's looking at me. She's going, "No, Mom, you're not a heathen." I'm not. No, but I do think that we need to have something that is a little more logical than what we are headed for right here. So I would highly recommend that you call your senators, send them an email, do whatever to make sure that this one doesn't go anywhere. There you go. That's what I've said here this morning. Don't know whether you like it or not, but if you do, or if you have an opinion, or you wanna spar with me over it, that'd be okay. 864-332-9355, 864-332-9355. Oh, I got lots of messages coming on. This is a subject that I'm very torn on. I am very pro-life, but I'm also not in a position to tell somebody what to do with their body. However, there are times that it is medically necessary, and abortion should not be used as birth control. I agree. But I don't think the government needs their nose in everything. Isn't that the truth? What happened to freedom? What happened to my body, my choice? Well, that went out the window a while back. Again, I don't believe that abortion should be used as a form of birth control, but people that do not know you should not tell you what to do with your own body. I think this thing of criminalizing it is the thing. And if somebody really feels that they need or want an abortion, they will go to whatever need they have to. But the other thing that will happen is, what about before abortion was legal, back before the 70s, when I don't know, I remember some stories to this, not many, but where people were getting back alley abortions, or women were trying to abort them themselves. I mean, the desperation in that. Again, to me, education, stay with the 6-week heartbeat bill. See if you can't make a difference through education, through massive campaigns that tell people, look, this is what you're doing. Look, this is not a good idea. But you need to have that ability to have an abortion if something is wrong. Should a woman have to carry a child that was through rape or incest? If the child has a fatal heart anomaly, is not going to be right, should that be a reason? Should you have to keep a child where the doctors are telling you this baby's going to die upon birth? Should you have to carry it to term? Does anybody realize the psychological, the emotional, the pain of this? I don't know. I just can't believe that we have people in our House Senate that would be this uncaring to the situation. There's no carve-outs in this bill. There are no carve-outs for medically necessary. At least the House bill has something that says any of these conditions can allow for an abortion. At least I have not read the bill, but that is what Representative John McCravey told me, because there was such pushback against that. Since the House already knows the pushback that is against this, why wouldn't the Senate take into consideration what the House has already experienced? This is where it makes no sense. The House has already gone through this. They already know the pushback from the public. Why is the Senate, why is Richard Cash naming himself as the one that will get this through without any understanding of what the House already knows about the public's feeling on abortion? So, anyways, I just find this absolutely abhorrent that they would waste the public money, they would waste the public time on a subject that they feel is righteous, but they already have had research and whatnot done in the House. The House has sent them a bill. So, anyways. And this is another text. It blows my mind they're going to give a woman possibly 2 years for an abortion that might have been medically necessary, but someone can sexually assault a child and get out on probation. Well, there you go. Isn't that the truth? So, I realize this is a heavy subject for the morning show, but I just think you need to be aware this is what our senators are doing down in Columbia. And I do not think it is a good thing. I think that there are important issues. I think if they wanted to take that up, why didn't they take up the House version and make amendments, adjustments? It would save so much time, and the House has already seen the pushback from the public. I think they know how the public feels about this. But again, is this something that our Senate was trying to slide through so we wouldn't even know about it unless Ann Eller is on the air talking about it? Maybe so. I don't know. Hey, I'm Ann Eller. No, I mean, I didn't get any special treatment on this. There are articles out there, but the question is, will they actually, do they actually bring it up? So, and as oh well, one of my texters here, as I've told you before, I've been trying to get our representatives to call me back for 2 months, and yes, looks like I need to call Billy Garrett today. Looks like that would be a good thing. If you've got an opinion on it, pick up that phone, call them, text them, email them. It is your opportunity to have your voice known as they go down this road of another hearing today in front of the full Medical Affairs Committee. So, anyways, time is of the essence, and that's why I brought that one up. Hey, you know what? I'm Ann Eller. I am right here with you this morning. Anybody got any opinions? Well, looks like nobody wants to talk about this issue this morning. It's an important issue. It's important to women and should be important to men, that you would not want your spouse, your loved one, your child to go through something that is so horrific, so horrific. But I do think this is why pregnancy centers serve such a good place in society. They will give you the Women's Center right here on Durst Avenue will give you a pregnancy test. They will give you an ultrasound absolutely free, and they will not pressure you to make a decision. They will simply tell you about some of the options. But when situations are beyond any of our control, rape, incest, fetal anomaly, that the fetus is not going to be healthy, may die. I mean, I don't know. But is this, and I don't even see anything for the life of the mother in there. I don't know, there might be, but is this the way we want our society to run, where a woman could end up in prison for going ahead with something that she knew was medically the right decision? I don't know. I don't know. It's a hard subject for me, but I wanted to bring it up because I think it's an important subject to bring up. All right, we got other things to talk about. That's going to close the page on that. This, and this is also, it's kind of tough because Tim Tebow is coming here today. He is actually his mother was told, I'll tell this story real quick just to put it on the other hand, that she and her husband were missionaries in the Philippines. She was pregnant with Tim. She contracted some disease while she was over there. The doctors in the Philippines told her she really should have an abortion because they didn't know what effect this disease might have on the growing fetus that would eventually become Tim Tebow. She evidently went to the mainland. I don't know what mainland they are talking about because I've only heard the story. And a doctor there nursed her back to health and cared for her. And she had a healthy baby boy named Tim Tebow. But he could have just as well have been aborted, and we never would have had the wonderful outpouring of life, love, and his expertise in football and all the things that he does. A night to shine, all the things that he does if he hadn't been born. There are many cases where lives have been saved because their mothers chose life instead of abortion. I sincerely believe what the Greenwood Women's Center does for women, giving them the time and the place to be able to think about it, makes a difference on the choice that someone will make. We need more of that type of facility here in our state. We need more help if a woman is in a dire straits to be able to give them the help that they need. Is it education? Do they need a GED? Do they need what type of getting on Medicaid, or I think it's Medicaid, getting the help that they need to be able to keep this baby, supporting them through the first 2 years of a child's life. If our government really wants to do something, look at doing things on education, compassion, caring, and giving the person the right to choose in the case of where they are at whatever level of the pregnancy they are. Nobody wants to see a life destroyed, but nobody wants somebody to suffer the way the suffering can happen in what cases that the Senate is set up. I don't think it's any star in your head to have, star on your chart to say you have the most stringent abortion laws in the country. I think our God is a forgiving God. I think in certain situations we are tested. And it is how we handle these tests in life that determines how our life in the end will go on. So, that's me, Ann Eller, right here with Penny. Penny's looking a little whacked out this morning. She must not like this talk. Are you okay, Princess Penny? No, I'm not. This is a hard subject, Mom. I know it is. All right. So let's talk about some other things. Tim Tebow is going to be here tonight. He, of course, is going to be, part of his is going to be about life and about his life and what he has done, about living fearlessly, about making choices. We all have gifts to give. We all have gifts to share. And we need to learn to give and share those gifts. And he certainly has done that in this world. And he is an encourager of each and every one of us. So I am definitely looking forward to seeing him this evening. So that is going on this evening. That's going on this evening. What else is going on? What else is going on? Well, there are some cool things coming up this weekend. That's right. Number one, they are going to be doing the installation in Wisteria Park of Long Canes, about the Battle of Long Canes. Here is that ad on that.
Join us as we celebrate the Battle of Long Canes interpretive signage installation service on Saturday, April the 18th, 2026 at 1 o'clock p.m. at Wisteria Community Park in Troy, South Carolina. This event will commemorate the installation of new interpretive signage honoring the historic Battle of Long Canes and its significance in the region's Revolutionary War history. 3 new signs displaying an artist rendering of battle scenes with narratives along with a map will be placed in Troy's Wisteria Park. This is a joint project with Greenwood County 250 and McCormick County 250 and funded in full by South Carolina 250. The service will celebrate the legacy of those who lived, fought, and were impacted by the Battle of Long Canes during the American Revolutionary War in South Carolina. The event is free and open to all. Refreshments will be served following the ceremony. See you there.
That's right. That is going to be an excellent event coming up this Saturday. That is this Saturday. So make sure you get out there and be part of that. It is going to be lovely down there at Wisteria Park in Troy. So make sure you check that one out. That is at 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock. Just had somebody say, I'm here to see Penny. Okay. Well, I'm sorry. She's been on several times here today. I like that. All right. There is also an event. Let's talk about some of these events that are going on at the Art Center of Greenwood. They are having it's a pottery Earth into Art sale. It's in honor of Earth Day as well as all the great pottery. You'll have an opportunity to win a variety of, it says, super cool and valuable giveaways provided by Keep Greenwood County Beautiful and the Art Center of Greenwood. What you can win. They have 3 available annual passes to the South Carolina State Park. Those 3 are together, I guess, are a $297 value. Custom printed canvas bag, there's 100 available. Wheel throwing workshop, 1 available. Summer art camp, $190 value. They have 1 of those available. Kids gardening kit, 1 of those, a $50 value. It says, in order to win, you must attend the event in person, pick up your bingo card at the event entrance, receive bingo stamps at each event table, return the bingo card when you leave. To receive a free canvas bag, you must be one of the first 50 attendees to the event or spend $100 or more. Simple, easy peasy. The bingo station will be positioned at the event entrance with an attendant and instructions on how to participate. That sounds pretty cool. Now, that event is this Saturday, and it is, what does it start, at 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock? I don't see it on this. We'll have to get some more information on that, but put that in there as something you want to do this weekend. Other things coming up. Porch Fest over there in Abbeville. I love this event. I'm going to try to get out there and go by and check that out. That is going to be all about people playing music on the porch. This is, I don't know. I haven't talked to anybody, but it just seems like it's kind of a takeoff on the play music on the porch idea that I had thought was such a great idea that we on WCRS, it's, I think, what is it, the last Saturday of the of August or something. They do it, and we always try to participate by playing music that you might play on the porch. It is a fantastic festival. I hope they're going to be doing some Facebook Lives or have a stream going on it. That would be pretty darn cool. So that's going on over at the Abbeville. Now that is from 12 to 6 maybe. I think that's when that is, 12 to 6. So if you're like music like I do and would like to see all different types of music, then this is going to be what you're going to say I've got to get to. All right, so that is another event that is going on. But don't forget, already this week we talked about flowers, plants, and everything that is flowering and plants, and there are so many places to buy plants this weekend, and you're going to have to be out early to do that. So let's see. That's Hodges is coming up next week. Just for the record, I got all their information right here. Okay, so Friday and Saturday, April 17th and 18th, at the Greenwood County Farmers Market, they are having a spring plant festival. That is going on from 10 to 2, and on Friday and on Saturday from 8 to 1. Flowers, vegetables, herbs, garden crafts at the Greenwood County Farmers Market. So that's on Friday and Saturday. At Piedmont Tech, they're having their horticultural spring plant sale. That is April 18th from 8 to 2. All kinds of plants, annuals, perennials, hanging baskets, vegetables, and herbs. Also, don't forget, folks, why am I like I am? I have no idea. Oh, let's see. Here we go. I want to go right here. They're also having a car show and whatnot at the Piedmont Tech. So a lot that's going to be going over there on Emerald Road, that is for sure, because they've got that going on. Let's see, here we go. Can we get that one to come up here? Yes, okay. So that is going on. Also, don't forget, today is the day. If you're going down the bypass, down there where the new Chick-fil-A, and you don't want to go to Chick-fil-A, I have not gone out. I actually thought about driving down the bypass and checking it out. If somebody wants to give me a traffic report, how things are going at the Chick-fil-A, that would be... Penny, if you're watching right now, Penny is just staring at me, and I'm just kind of trying to do the show. I'm not sure what she's telling me. You're boring, Ann. Okay. Anyways, Chick-fil-A opened this morning at 6:30. I'm sure there are all kinds of traffic issues down there. So if you have to go up and down the bypass and you can bypass that area because you don't want to get stuck in traffic, I highly recommend that you do that. Somebody just texted me. Would have been nice if you told me this earlier, Ann. Okay. All right. Anyways, let's see. What else do we have? Also Wednesdays, started yesterday through Monday. The spring book sale is going on at the library. Hours are Thursday, Friday, Wednesday. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, 1 to 5:30. All books are available during normal library hours. Monday, it is from 9 to 1. This is a great opportunity to buy cool books, books maybe you can't find for very cheap prices. So that is a very cool thing. A lot of people like to buy the books, buy paperbacks, and take them if they've got a house in the mountains or a house at the beach. They take extra books and just leave them. If somebody takes the book for 50 cents, you don't care. In fact, you're glad that somebody is reading. Thursday at 1 p.m., the Greenwood Writers and Poets are hosting a meeting at the Art Center of Greenwood. N.C. Moses, local writer and Christian life coach, is the scheduled presenter. That is Thursday at 1 today. Thursday through April 19th, the Greenwood Community Theater invites you to Dare to Dream, a Disney musical review. So you can get your tickets, of course, at the box office, 864-229-5704. Then we get into the plant sales. We talked about the one at the farmers market Friday and Saturday. Saturday, 9 to 2. We had Missy Lowry and Stephanie Turner on Tuesday afternoon. We talked all about these different sales and why the Master Gardeners is so important to our area, and they really are. Saturday from 9 to 2 is the Lakelands Master Gardeners plant sale at 808 South Emerald Road right here in Greenwood. They will have, this is one of the things that's very interesting about this one. I think they'll have over 700, excuse me, native plants. Native plants. And by native, I mean native to our area, which it is important to let those plants continue to be. And most of these have been raised from seeds by the, or maybe by cuttings if they came off a bush or something, by the Master Gardeners, and then they bring them and sell them, and they help support their programs that they do with the Master Gardeners. So that is pollinator plants, perennials, annuals, vegetable plants, herbs, and more available for purchase. Saturday 4 to 10 p.m., the annual Phoebes and Friends at Sports Break is going on. So that's at 114 Cross Creek Connector at Sports Break. The benefit features more than 20 musical acts, ages 50 plus. You want to see old guys getting up there still able to do it? Go to Phoebestock. Actually, it's a very good program, and this year it is supporting the Greenwood County Veterans Affairs. So donations accepted at the door. We've talked about the Earth into Art. That actually was or is from 9 to 2, free admission to that. Get your bingo card, get entered for all these great prizes that we were talking about. Now, out there at Piedmont Tech, we have the plant sale that they'll be having right across the street. And then at Piedmont Tech from 10 to 2, Carnival at Piedmont Tech in Greenwood. Enjoy on-site roller skating rink. Now that's huge. A car show and interactive games. That is free admission. We've talked a little bit about Porch Fest, a free walkable music festival in historic Abbeville featuring local talent staged on front porches throughout historic neighborhoods. That goes on from noon to, it says 8 p.m., hosted by the Abbeville Chamber of Commerce. I think this is a fantastic event. Also, Saturday at the Abbeville Opera House hosts Shot Through the Heart, the Bon Jovi Experience. All shows are at 7:30. You can purchase your tickets at the Abbeville Opera House or at abbevillecitysc.com. So, next week is the Hodges Spring Festival. Also, this is what I wanted to mention. I'm very interested in this one. April 23rd at 7:30. So that is that 23rd, 24th, maybe Thursday. Michael Genevieve, actor, director, and playwright, presents an all-new An Evening with Mark Twain, celebrating the life and wit of one of America's greatest authors at Memorial Hall on the Erskine College campus in Due West. That should be great. So there's another good one that you may want to check out. They're also having a free fitness class in recognition of World Tai Chi Day starting at 10 a.m. on April 25th. That is next Saturday. And the April 25th on Saturday is also the Sally H. Kaufman Walk to Fight Hunger at the Lander University Jeff May Complex. This is a benefit for the Food Bank of the Lakelands. Registration begins at 7:30. Walk starts at 8 a.m. So, it looks like Michael Genevieve is also taking his act to Presbyterian College campus in Clinton. So that will be on the evening, 7:30 on April 25th, next Saturday. So those are some of the things that are out there. And there's more. Because next Saturday, let's see if I can pull this up for you real quick. It's Shred It Day, Greenwood. That's right. Yeah, shred it. Here you go.
Shred It, Greenwood. Saturday, April 25th, 9 to 12, at St. Mark United Methodist Church on the Bypass. We will shred any personal documents with your info. Don't forget, e-waste recycling is available. TV, computers, printers, and such. No phones, keyboards, or computer mice accepted. Free to Greenwood residents only. Sorry, no businesses. Donations gladly accepted. See you on Saturday, April 25th. Let's shred it, Greenwood.
There you go. Shred it, Greenwood. That is next Saturday. So be gathering up all these things that you'd like to be rid of, that you don't know what to do, or it's complicated to take them out there to the dump, whatever. But anyways, this is an important event, and, this is free to the community. I think a lot of people don't realize this is free to the community. So this is something, it costs money to do this, but they do it. I think it is also, although I do not have this on expert authority, but I believe I am right on this, it will be Pill Take Back Day at the sheriff's department. They usually have a place set up right there where you can just drop off pills you're no longer using, don't need, that should not go into down the toilet. You don't want them to get into the groundwater, etc. So maybe that would be an excellent thing to do. I'll try to get some more information on that. So that is a lot of different things going on. There is no lack of things to enjoy and be going for what is happening. So there you go. Do I got anything else here this morning? Okay, I don't know what the thanks is for, but I'll take it. I'll take it. All right. I am Ann Eller. We are talking about what's going on in Greenwood. We're trying to make our community a better place. All these things happen for a reason, because we can make a difference. And one thing that I have learned in my life of being a broadcaster, you have to use your voice. You have to use your voice. You have to get out there and say. Now, you can do it nicely. We don't need to have all the angst that we always have going on in our society, but we do need to speak our minds about what is going on. It is just that important. So, as we finish up today, we sure need to hope and pray that everything that is happening in Iran and across the world with all these hot spots that we have, we certainly need to hope that and pray that this can be resolved, that Iran will see the logic in what we're doing. They've been quite successful so far in keeping Iran ships from entering or leaving Iran right now, and that is a good thing. We'll see whether they actually come to the table. My personal opinion is they're never going to come to the table. Why not? Because they just are not. It is not in their nature to be appreciative of life. They don't have that value on life. So that is why you will not see them, I don't think, honestly coming to the table. They may go to the table to give them more time to get ready to attack, but their minds are just hell-bent on destroying their everything else in order to have their glory to Allah. So that is what I have to say. I'm sure there is something else I needed to talk about here today. But guess what? I'm going to give it up. I'm going to have a great day. I am looking forward to Tim Tebow tonight. I do have a few more of the tickets to give away. If you would like tickets to go see Tim Tebow, you can text me or call me 864-332-9355. This is on a first-come, first-served basis, so call or text me, and if I still have them, I will put them out there, and you can come pick them up. Make sure you give me your name, and you can get 2 tickets. I'll give 2 tickets for as many tickets as I have to give out. 864-332-9355. That's 864-332-9355. I hope you all have a great day. Thanks for tuning in. Penny, do you have anything to say here at the end? Do you have anything to say? Well, that's not a very good view of you. Let's see if we can. There you go. Do you have anything to say? Not really. I'm ready for my breakfast, though. Okay, we'll go get breakfast. That's going to do it for us. I'm Ann Eller. Thanks for tuning in, and have a great day. Get out there, do some planting. That's right, do some planting. We're dropping the curtain. We're queuing up the music for us right here on WCRS. Bye-bye, everybody.